Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining today's Microsoft Marketplace Customer Office Hour. We will go ahead and get started with today's session on accelerating AI adoption through Microsoft Marketplace. My name is Justin Royal, and I'm the Marketplace Community Lead for Microsoft Marketplace. And I want to welcome everybody to today's show. Encourage you, if you're joining us live, encourage you to type your questions into the chat throughout today's session. We will have plenty of time at the end of today's session to answer your. If you are joining the session after today's event and watching it on demand, you can definitely ask your questions related to today's topic in the Marketplace community. So make sure that we point out this is a monthly series. We have a whole library of Marketplace customer office hours that you can access through the community site. And if you haven't joined us before, make sure to join us moving forward. We've got a whole library of Marketplace customer office hours available to you. So it looks like we might be having a little bit of a technical issue with the slideware here, but okay, we will go ahead and get started. Welcome. My teammate, Kristen Maddox, is here to talk you through accelerating AI adoption with Microsoft Marketplace. Kristen, I will go ahead and pass it over to you. And again, if you're joining us live, please put your questions into the chat throughout today's show.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Super excited to be here. I have frequented the office hours, and I'm always happy to come and talk about Marketplace. If you haven't met me before, my name is Kristen Maddox, and I support product marketing for Marketplace. And today I'll be talking about shocking AI adoption and Marketplace. So with that, just to get right into today's topic, let me see if I can get the screen to move. There we go. Okay. So AI workload trends, what we're seeing, how the Marketplace can bring value to you, and what you can do next. Pretty simple agenda. And again, plenty of time at the end of the session for questions. These are designed to be low lift on our part so we can have time to talk with the community. So feel free to type in whatever question you have. So to get us kicked off, fresh off the press is the 2026 State of FinOps report. If you were with us last month, you heard me talk about FinOps a lot. And I'm super passionate about this community because I just think they have a great pulse on where the cloud business in general is going. FinOps is just going to continue to grow. So I see this as a great indicator for what we should be thinking about in terms of cloud and tech all up. And, no surprise in this 2026 report, this is a quote from their report, AI dominates the agenda, both managing it and using it. So for the first time, FinOps for AI moved up to the #1 spot. The previous year, the #1 top of mind for FinOps professionals was workload optimization and waste reduction. And I know that was the top of mind for 2024 as well, if not even before that. But AI is front and center because everyone knows they need it, but they're not quite sure how to use it. And I talk a lot about this value over hype message that we've been using, that, you don't want to have a lot of churn. Similar to what we saw with SaaS sprawl and some of that, you want to make sure that those investments and what you're using aren't putting your company at risk, that it's having a measurable value. And so no surprise here that AI is topping the chart. Also just interesting, and just the exponential growth is that 98% of the respondents for this survey saw managing AI spend as a huge part of their function for this next year. And that's it's up 35%. So it was about 60-ish last year. And before that, it was about 40-ish. So just that exponential growth, and it's really here, and it's dominating how we're thinking about all of our tech investments. But we all know that here. So what I'm here to talk to you about is how the marketplace can help you with your AI adoption. So when we at Microsoft talk about frontier transformation, at its core, that's about becoming AI first. And a lot of that is with our own product stack, but we know that we can't do it alone, that you are going to need other software. You're going to need solutions from other vendors to help complete that portfolio. And for us, that marketplace is how we bring our partner solutions together with to serve all of our commercial customers. So we're very proud to have announced Microsoft Marketplace. The marketplace has always been a top of mind strategy for us, but the announcement of Microsoft Marketplace really puts it core to the Microsoft Cloud strategy, and that unification of our previous storefronts, Microsoft AppSource and Azure Marketplace. This really drives us to have the marketplace be this trusted source for all your cloud and AI needs. And our value pillars have remained consistent let me just click over here. Sorry, I have a new setup that I'm trying to manage here. Okay, so if you've seen me present before, you've probably seen me talk about this, but we're really proud to have a super robust catalog of AI apps and agents. And obviously, as we're going towards a AI first world, this is super important. But we always like to kind of joke, like we have an app for that. So whether that's a really low lift, low code solution that's an integration with Copilot, or something that is super customized, requiring a lot of dev work, there is either the end solution or the tools for you to get that. Obviously, with the increase of AI, that increases your all up cloud usage in general. So it's not our marketplace centers on AI 2 and through, and there's a ton of solutions out there, but it's also for all the categories. So for infrastructure services, to security, to productivity, AI is becoming embedded in all the categories, but it helps be that one-stop shop to help you really optimize your cloud spend holistically. And we talked a lot about optimization in the last office hours. And then there's that integration where all of our marketplace products are pre-configured to work with the Microsoft stack. So you just have that trust that it's going to work with your existing investments. It's more safeguarded than getting it outside of marketplace. And you get that just faster time to value because it's already in all of your existing environments. So we love this slide. This is what we call our framework slide. And this is just a visualization of how we think about the marketplace and how it all comes together with our thousands and thousands of partners out in the ecosystem. So Microsoft has and always has been a partner-centric organization. And with our partners, they publish their solutions to one central catalog. We call that proper Microsoft Marketplace. And that shows up in our digital storefront, which I just talked about. But it's one store, many surfaces. It also surfaces in our in-product experiences, or even if you prefer to buy through a channel partner, there's mechanisms for that and other deal constructs. But the point is that it's tightly integrated as an extension to the Microsoft Cloud. And we're continuing to make investments to make this your one-stop shop for your cloud and AI needs. But to get just more specific about how we think about it for your AI adoption, this isn't a marketplace narrative. This is a Microsoft narrative on are you going to build, buy, or blend? And there is no one size fits all approach. Every organization, based on your maturity, based on your budgets, you're all going to have different needs. So whether you're building solutions to have maximum control, whether you're buying solutions to go fast, or whether you're doing a bit of both, there's marketplace strategies that you can implement to help you. And we did write a blog on this topic. It was by our VP, Cyril Bellikoff. It was just published, I guess, just about a month ago, but it goes into this a little bit deeper. So if you haven't seen that, I would encourage you to check it out. But just going into, the build by blend scenarios, what your trade-offs are control, speed, cost. So how much control do you want to have in terms of how customized do you need it? Do you need it all in your environment? Will something that's more of a SaaS app that implements machine learning, will that suffice? What's your speed? Like, how fast do you need it? Do you need it tomorrow? Do you need your employees working faster ASAP, so you need an agent that you can click to deploy? And then what's your overhead cost in terms of in-house development versus licensing? These are all things that you have to weigh when you're considering this. And from a build perspective, you really get that maximum control and that unique differentiation. We just had our customer advisory board last week. Maybe it was this week. It's been a little bit of a blur, but I was really surprised how many of our CAB members were building all of their own agents. They felt like they had the tools. They felt like they understood the models well enough that they had the dev resources, that they wanted to do this in-house. So this really gives maximum control, where you can align your agents to your unique business outcomes. And we have such a robust model catalog, thousands of solutions, everything from Anthropic to more niche models, where you can connect them really quickly within existing environments, or you can go more low code with existing Copilot agents. So your trade-offs are speed and dev cost, specialized skills, higher upfront costs, but maybe longer term, that's what's worth it for you. And you can get the tools to build the agent within Marketplace aligned to your environment to be more secure. From a buy perspective, this is pretty self-explanatory, but again, with Marketplace, you're buying solutions that are vetted by Microsoft partners. So you can really realize value immediately. We're working on demos right now to help really solidify how fast it is through Marketplace versus off. So again, if you have existing Copilot licenses and you get an agent, you can go right into your Microsoft 365 admin center and be assigning those licenses out and have employees up and running. I know that one of our customers had said that it cuts their integration time down to just a minute. So huge value there, and with the solutions integrated with existing Microsoft stack. But the reality is most organizations rather, will probably do a blend of where they build some custom and they buy some outright. This can help you move quick. This can help you find the right balance. We've also seen some customers go out and initially buy, and then as they learn exactly what they need and they get the business requirements more set, they'll build in-house. So tons of different ways to do this. And as we think about our marketplace, one of the biggest use cases with AI is in industry and line of business use cases. And within this session today, there's no way that I can cover all the industries, but I did want to highlight that there is sometimes a little bit of a myth buster out there that our marketplace is more for horizontal solutions. And we have a huge portfolio and emphasis on industry. And I'm going to highlight three. These are our top three from a customer perspective on Marketplace: financial services, healthcare, and manufacturing. So for each of these, we have a really strong portfolio of Fortune 500 recognizable customer names to early disruptors in the space, and then tons of solutions that support each of these industries. I'm starting with financial services. I picked banking in particular. Financial services is the largest customer category for Marketplace, and AI adoption is often driven by customers wanting to de-risk. And it's funny because I just got a request yesterday from an account executive who wanted us to come in to talk to their customer about why Marketplace for banking, and because it's a more high risk industry. And my response was, we're happy to come talk to this customer, but it's really no different for us with banking than it is for any of our other industries. But what's interesting is that our banking and financial services clients have seen the value of on Marketplace versus off, because it does have that extra governance layer. So as they're looking, these scenarios that you see to the left of improved fraud analysis and detection, and all the way to modernize lending and mortgage, these are scenarios that we align our field on, that we align our sellers on, for how we think about our first party solutions. And then our partners have solutions that extend on top of that. And we've just seen a ton of momentum with all of our customers across all the segments, but particularly with financial services, because they see value in just this added governance layer of the vetting. And healthcare is our one of our, I think it's our second largest category, but there is, again, tons of healthcare solutions. We just finished a case study with a healthcare customer that we'll be publishing soon. And it's just so inspiring to see all the software solutions that are really improving patient outcomes. So again, these scenarios here on the left transform clinical workflow down to enhanced care management with actionable insights. These are the scenarios that we're aligning our field against to help our customers. And then we have tons of extensions. These logos are just a quick representation of some of the solutions that solve against these very niche scenarios. And finally, in manufacturing, manufacturing and tech have always been very hand in hand, and a bit AI first, with just the needs and enhancements in supply chain. So this is really about that connection of digital and physical worlds, and partners here have a focus on predictive maintenance, design optimization, supply chain intelligence, and frontline productivity. So again, tons of solutions that align against our solution scenarios that we have our field trained on, and very outcome driven. And again, logos, just a quick representation. I pulled these straight from our corporate field decks. And then rounding out beyond just the industries, the reason why Marketplace for AI adoption is that you're getting that governed, secure ecosystem for your AI apps, agents, and models. So it's faster by design, it's responsible by design, it has faster time to value, predictable, controllable spend, and measurable in business impact. Those last two bullets really align to the customer office hours we did last month on cost optimization, where Marketplace helps give you a more single pane of glass so that you have better visibility into your spend and you can align it tighter to your outcomes. I did want to hit on these related products that can help from an all-up management perspective. Azure are role-based controls. So this is something the Marketplace implements if that you have an Azure contract automatically, that it helps align permissions so that you can shut down shadow IT and shut down random investments and help keep that control so that you know where your AI investments are going. Microsoft Cost Management. This is a very robust tool that helps with your all-up budget planning. It also has alignment to FinOps Focus and Azure Advisor. So this is another tool that helps with performance metrics. So it can give you estimates on, gee, you could save some dollars if you ran this model over that model, or if you run this service over this service, you might have a better outcome. So these are tools you can use in conjunction with Marketplace to help with your all-up management to drive that AI first adoption. Okay, so your next steps, there is no one size fits all solution. I'm sure you all feel that and you all know that. I don't need to tell you that. But based on where you're at today, just evaluate what your AI adoption is, and based on your AI maturity, what kind of Microsoft products you have. I'd encourage you to start shopping the catalog and see what might make sense for you to deploy with some low-cost licenses to kick the tires if you're not Marketplace mature yet. If you do have existing contracts for AI apps or agents that are off Marketplace, I would encourage you to bring those into Marketplace for when you go to renew. There is different benefits on the partner side, and we're again trying to streamline partners going to market with us through Marketplace. So that's a low friction way to start using Marketplace as your center of gravity for your cloud and AI adoption. And then, of course, if you have an app or agent that is repeatable, we would love to help you scale it. So obviously our Marketplace is filled with our partner solutions, and companies of all shapes and sizes are finding unique ways to monetize these agents. So if that is something that your company has where you think it could go be repeatable IP, get it on our Marketplace. And there's tons of information on how to do that at aka.ms WAC software companies. And as promised, we have lots of time for Q&A. So I'm just going to round us out with a few resources that I think these are consistent throughout our office hours, but our Learn customer documentation is really it's the handbook on everything Marketplace and Microsoft tech in general. So we work hard on keeping this up to date. There is a placemat slide if you go to aka.marketplace customer docs, and there you can kind of jump into whatever topic you need some deeper information on. We have a cost optimization ebook, coined our procurement playbook, that you are welcome to check out and share with your team as ways to use Marketplace. And then, of course, keep coming back to this customer office hours. We've been working hard to keep these consistent on the last Wednesday of every month. So we hope to see you back here in March. And with that is all I have for content today. So we can go to any questions.
Great. Thank you, Kristen. Thanks for the great tips. And thank you, community, for joining us in today's session. Plenty of time for questions. So if you have one, feel free to type into the chat. We'll give everybody another minute just to continue submitting their questions.
Yeah, I saw one on if Azure Marketplace and AppSource were the same thing. And I think if we all had $1 for every time we were asked that, we would be super, super wealthy. The answer is they are the same thing. So that 925 announcement we made for Microsoft Marketplace was the unification of our storefronts, Azure Marketplace and Microsoft AppSource. So this has been a long time in the making. We're super excited to be a capital M Microsoft Marketplace. But again, think of it as one catalog, many surfaces. So even though we have one digital storefront, we still have our in-product experiences across Azure, Microsoft Teams, Copilot, security, etc. So, I know that might seem confusing, but the idea of it is that we meet you where you are.
Thanks, Kristen. Next question. Who was the person or the talk recommended a couple minutes ago? I heard the name Bellikoff. Could you please share a link?
Yeah. I see it on this magic tech there. Yeah. So Cyril Bellikoff is our VP, and he is the byline on the blog that I mentioned on charting your AI. The title of the blog is, I think, Chart Your AI Strategy with Marketplace. So some of this is based off the narrative we're building on this build buy blend.
Thanks, Kristen. And yeah, if you're listening to the session today, that blog is available at aka.ms/chartyourAIstrategy. Next question. How do I sign up to attend the CAB calls?
That's a great question. We love to have CAB members. Justin, how do you want to answer that?
I can take that one. So I actually lead the Marketplace Customer Advisory Board. And so we certainly welcome customers who are interested in giving us feedback. We never say no to hearing customers. And so open to learning more about who you are and your organization. If you are interested in learning more about the CAB and possibly joining, definitely feel free to reach out to me directly. I can verbally say my email, and then if our producers want to put it up on the screen, it's just justinroyal@microsoft.com, ROYAL, like royal family. You can also add me on LinkedIn. Just find me, Justin Royal at Microsoft, and happy to answer any questions you have about the advisory board and hopefully get you involved. So great question, thank you. Okay,
yeah,
I think we have a question about MACC, Kristen.
Yeah, I see. Does this apply for MACC? And the answer is yes. So Azure benefit eligible solutions, those are the ones that have a 100% match to if you have a Microsoft Azure Consumption Commitment. So that is a universal statement across our catalog. It's not limited to AI apps and agents. Not all AI apps and agents are MACC eligible, but if you see that filter in the marketplace for Azure benefit eligible, that would count towards your commitment.
Okay, great. Well, it looks like those are a short but sweet list of questions today. Again, encourage anybody who thinks of a question later, definitely feel free to post it in the community, and we keep an eye on those discussions, and we'll respond to you on the community site as well. So I think that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap up.
I think actually, Justin, one more thing I'll just plug really quick. We'll be in New York next week with the Partner One event, and we will also be at the Channel Partner Conference in April. So I know this is our customer office hours, but I know that we do get partners that dial in too. So if you follow us on LinkedIn, and if you're in those local areas and going to be at either of those events, please come in and connect with us. We'd love to see you.
Great, thank you. Is there a resource, or what should people search for, Kristen, if they're interested in those events?
The Channel Partner Conference, if you just search Channel Partner Conference, you will find tons of info. The Partner One event, I will repost it on my LinkedIn just now, but that is next Tuesday. So I fly next week. It'll be good.
Great. Okay, so Kristen and I, we love connecting with community members, love connecting with customers. We can put our LinkedIn handles in the chat on today's event page, so that you can feel free to connect with us there. So hope you reach out, hope you engage with the events next week. And again, this customer office hour is a monthly occurrence. We will have another one in March, so stay tuned for that session as well. Thank you, Kristen, for all the great tips today. And thank you all of those for joining us. And yeah, have a great day. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.